finishes Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2 in what must have been a really good watch for the neutrals, but I tell you what, my nerves were absolutely shredded in that game. Fair to say we didn't start off well in the first 45. I think Manchester City shaded that, but the second half lived up to the billing of the game we thought it was going to be. We talked about Liverpool defending the right hand side. That's where Manchester City's first goal came from. I suppose it's up to you to choose how you remember this match, ladies and gentlemen. For me, I'm going to choose to remember that Mohamed Salah moment of brilliance that brought us. Again, 2 times during his Liverpool career he's performed absolute miracles in tight areas like that, and unfortunately on both occasions we've ended up drawing 2-2. I just feel a little bit deflated by it. I won't lie to you all. I was going into this game, I was nervous. But as the game went on, second half, I thought, right, let's go. We showed up. We performed better. The crowd lifted us. We got the midfield involved a little bit more. And we went ahead twice. And we couldn't keep that lead. And then right at the end of the game as well, that great chance for Fabinho. And still, we're going to watch that back over and over and over again. And we're going to wonder how on earth Fabinho never managed to just poke the ball into the open net. It was much like when he didn't realise the week before that there was a Brentford player behind him. He didn't realise that Manchester City's João Cancelo was going to throw his body on the line. He thought he had more time to pass it into the net. But look, I don't want to dwell on negatives today because we have gone and started this season well. There will be feelings of frustration that we couldn't see it out today, and I understand that. Manchester City do what Manchester City do. They cause overloads around the pitch. For their first goal, it happened with the left-hand side. Foden did really well, and it was a tidy finish, but the one that really hurt for me was the second one, because Alisson had the strike saved. It took a deflection, of course, off Joel Matip. Nothing he could do about it, and Kevin De Bruyne's shot was steered into the goal. And look, on the reflection, I think a draw is probably a fair result. It was Rodri. Absolutely certain it was De Bruyne.
On the line.
That took the shot.
Well, yeah, De Bruyne.
Oh, with the block, sorry. Rodri, apologies, sorry. Anyway, good defending. Bad miss from our perspective. Much better in the second half, said GSC 9671. That Fabinho miss was painful, it was. And the more we look at it, the more painful, unfortunately, it's going to become. But I don't want to dwell on negatives, because, let's be honest, the first half performance wasn't up to scratch, but we were much better in the second half. We didn't even have a shot, let alone a shot on target in the first 45 minutes. But the lads came out second half, played much better, created more. I don't even think there is a debate around man of the match in this one. It has to be to Mohamed Salah. For one, his goal, and two, his great work on the right hand side to assist Sadio Mane, who took his finish really well. It was small margins, unfortunately, in these games, ladies and gentlemen, that can win you the game or undo the game. And we'll just look back at that Fabinho opportunity, and I'm not going to hold it against Fabinho, because Fabinho's done far more good for this football club than he has bad. And look, it happens. Sometimes you think you've got longer than you do, but yeah, it's frustrating that Salah goal didn't win the game. It deserved to win a game of football. Look, let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think if you're a neutral Liverpool fan, City fan. Don't forget, at 10 to 7, I'll be joined by Kyle and Paddy Murphy, and we'll have a fan forum after the game, see how the lads are feeling it. Please tell me your game thoughts. We didn't start off well enough in the first 45 minutes. That just was not a good enough performance. We were lucky to go in at half time, to be honest. Still level. Some good goalkeeping by Alisson Becker. Some good defending as well. But we grew into the game as it went on, and you get the breakthrough, you're thinking, right, let's settle into it. But City did what you would expect City to do, come back. Good teams never lie down. Same with Liverpool, when we go behind, we won't lie down. City came back into it, and to be honest, it was a very well taken goal by Phil Foden. They created the overload on the left, ball was played in, over Milner's head, Foden brings it down, cuts inside, fires a shot into the bottom corner. It's 1-1 and you're thinking, right, where do we go now? How does this turn? And we managed to create another moment of magic. I say we, Mohamed Salah. You'll watch that back, I don't know, many times and still ask yourself, how has he done it? He's turned 7 Manchester City players, I think I counted, and buried it. That should have won the game. We should have seen that out. We should have defended better. But Manchester City, again, created another overload down the left. This time it was pulled back. And look, I always tell you, don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle. And De Bruyne hit the strike. Alisson would have saved it. It ricocheted off Matip, unfortunately, past the despairing dive of Alisson. And it is what it is. It's a 2-2. FSG not buying right back let us down. Fuck off. Honestly, just fuck off with your nonsense. How is FSG not buying a right back let us down in that game? Please do fucking tell me. Because Trent has a groin strain. and because Nico Williams is only coming back from an injury, and because Connor Bradley hasn't been brought through, I'm painting my hole listening to. If you want to talk about the owners on something, by all means, we'll talk about them. But that game is not down to the fucking owners. I'm sorry, but that just infuriates me. Defending was very poor today, yes. And we haven't defended well recently. We didn't defend well against Brentford either. And I said all week what was going to happen. I told you how they were going to get at us and how they're going to attack us. It was always going to be down the right hand side. But you're not going to keep a team as good as City quiet for the entire game. How could a club as big as us not have one competent right back? We do. His name's Trent Alexander-Arnold. We also have Nico Williams. We also have Connor Bradley. We also have James Milner, Fabinho, Joe Gomez. Take your pick. Any of them can play it right back. I understand that people are frustrated. Of course I am. But to have a dig at the owners about our shoddy defending, like, let's be honest, nobody is going to be more experienced than James Milner on that pitch from either side. So, look, I'm all for having a pop and not defending well, but to just, like, any lazy excuse to have a pop at the owners just seems silly. Amazing game, absolutely, Liam, it was. Ref should have booked Milner. Look, I don't disagree. I will be the first one to admit that we were very fortunate that James Milner finished that. Well, he didn't finish the game, he was subbed off, but we were very fortunate that he didn't pick up a second yellow. No arguments on that whatsoever. If it was the other way around, I'd have been screaming for a booking. I can understand why City fans or Guardiola was losing his mind. I'd have been the very same. You know, I try and be honest in my assessments, and that's the way I'd seen it as well. Chaos Jokers, what's that? Sneak peek with the super stick. First time I've ever seen that one, mate. Thank you. Goodbye the Fabinho miss, said Yazid. The defence is shambles after Salah's goal. Yeah, we just didn't defend well enough. I'm happy to admit that. But sometimes you're forced into these things. And look, you're playing Manchester City with some of the greatest attacking talent in the world, some of the greatest distributors of a football you'll ever see. And they do that. We do it to teams as well. Manchester City often drag you across the pitch and create overloads on the far side. It's what they do. It's what De Bruyne is excellent at as well, switching the ball across the pitch. We see Trent and Robbo do it occasionally for us. We see Van Dijk doing it. It's one of the arrows in City's quill as well. And unfortunately today, we were on the receiving end of a very good goal. The second one was a bit of luck. Let's not look. I say this all the way throughout the season. Sometimes you need a bit of luck to go for you in games. And today, again, as always seems to be the case when we play City, little deflection like that when the keeper had it covered and it's 2-2. But I think a draw is probably a fair result on the reflection of it, because we weren't great in the first 45. Massively upped it in the second half. Very unfortunate of the deflection, said Ben. Defence let Salah down. Again, I don't disagree with you, mate. That Salah goal should have won the game. We should have seen it out from there. Whether it meant we did sit a little bit deeper, and I mean properly deep, and say to City, right, break us down. But we didn't. We kept trying to play the way we were playing. The game got a little bit stretched. And when you're playing a team as good as City, if you don't take your chances, they're going to create some. They got lucky. We missed a really good opportunity to win the game with Fabinho. And yeah, look, we go into the international break. It's not the worst result. You know, a 2-2 draw is not the worst result. It would have been a lot harsher going in on the back of a potential loss. But you won't help but think, what if? And Alisson was really great in the first half as well. Two very, very big saves at big moments in the game. I really do feel for Mo today, because that goal deserves to win a game, especially a game of this magnitude as well. It was simply sensational, and that's why it's so important that Mohamed Salah gets a contract renewal and stays at Liverpool Football Club, because who else could have done that? Who else could have done what he did in the build-up to Sadio Mane's goal as well? Is absolutely amazing down that right-hand side, in tight areas, managing to free up the space that he did. Look, you'll see the goal, you'll talk about it. It was amazing. Foden's goal was brilliant as well, by the way. Very good finish. And Sadio's finish was tasty. But, yeah, it's just what could have been in frustration. But look, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. I don't want to dwell on a negative. Dilip, welcome to Anfield Agenda FC, buddy. Thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate that. Grealish overpriced. Yeah, he was barely involved in the game today, I'd agree. Shouldn't Man City theoretically win every match with the non-sporting amount of money they spend, said Joshua. Look, man, I'm happy to, stick the boot into Manchester City on that regard. But I'd like to talk about the spectacle, the game today. Because that was a game that if you're a neutral, I'm sure, watching, you would have thought that what a great advert for the Premier League. I think both teams will probably leave and both sets of fans will feel a little bit hard done by for different reasons. We as Liverpool fans will obviously feel like we could have, maybe should have, won that game. And Manchester City fans will feel like, what if James Milner had gotten a second yellow card? Would the game have gone differently? I don't know. As I said, I stand over it. I think a draw is a fair result, but I do feel deflated because we had that elation when Mohamed Salah was Messi-esque. Like, I still don't know. I'll watch that back tonight, a match of the day too, and I still won't know how he got it and scored it. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable from Mohamed Salah. Let me know your man of the match, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section. And don't forget, in 10 minutes' time, I'll be joined by Paddy Murphy and Kyle from Nothing But Reds, and we'll be having a chat with those guys around the game and seeing how they reacted to it. And we'll also be back then with our player ratings video. Still unbeaten. Exactly, said Hakeem. Well played, mate. Love the positives. This game is why we love the game, said Jasper. Very fair point. Chelsea, it feels so good to be on top. Look, it's going to be a tight race, Dandy, as I said. And look, Chelsea are going in on top of the Premier League. And it's all to play for. We've another international break coming up next month. But look, it is all to play for. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how the season pans out. Salah, man of the match. I think, look, yeah, it has to be, doesn't it? Most of you guys in the chat. Parviz, who else is in there? Do you want to throw a vote in? Connor will throw a vote in now so you guys can vote for your man of the match. So don't go anywhere because we need to know who you think. So let's go for...
Actually, Connor's laptop is absolutely shit in
the bed. His laptop's shit in the bed, so we can't. My apologies, that's my bad. Can I do it here?
Yeah.
This show, is it?
Yeah.
Right, 1 second. Give me some choices.
Salah.
Why is it yes or no?
You can type in.
Who else is up for man of the match? Matip.
Allison probably though.
Right, there we go. Vote away in the man of the match vote. I'll just put it into the chat there, ladies and gentlemen. Have your say. Loads of shouts for Foden. Foden had a great game. It is right. We should acknowledge City players in this, but obviously from our biased perspective, we're looking for a Liverpool man of the match. But yeah, Phil Foden did have a very good game. He's a good player. What can you say? That strike for his goal was very well taken. Just subscribe to you, Craig said Hoot. Saw you on Goldbridge's channel. Keep up the good content. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. Penguins are cool. 12 said Salah easy. Salah 100% for Capo Can as well. Allison for Lagster. Yes, some massive saves in that first half, mate. Absolutely pivotal moments of the game. While you're voting on the man of the match, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors as well, OneFootball. There is a link in the description if you haven't yet signed up or joined the OneFootball community. The app's entirely free to download, entirely free to use. Doesn't matter what age you are, there's no restrictions on it. Download it from the link in the description below. All the video content you need, match content, match statistics, augmented reality, and the great supporters of football fan content, as you know. Matip first half, Salah second half, said reformed. Again, the vote's still there if you guys want to have your say. We sorely missed Thiago and Trent. Great match though. Yeah, it was. Look, it's frustrating. It is frustrating. There's no denying that. But it could have gone any way. So I think it's annoying. Sometimes it's how these things come about, isn't it? Like, how do we draw having come from behind? Do we draw having been ahead? And when you're ahead and you're pegged back, the frustration grows. If you get a draw from a losing position, it almost feels like a win, doesn't it? So I think both teams will... What will they take from this? I suppose they'll both take the fact that they're right at their top level. Manchester City, they've gone away to Chelsea. They've won. They've gone away to Liverpool. They've got a draw. Some difficult fixtures out of the way for them as well. We've had 2 difficult home games and we're still undefeated. That's important. We're still undefeated in the Premier League. We're 1 point behind the leaders, Chelsea. Let's have a little look at the league table anyway. Right, the updated league table sees Chelsea top with 16 points from 7 games. Liverpool second, 1 point ahead of Manchester City, which is, they'll be there or thereabouts. So it is tight at the top of the league table. United on 14 points, Everton on 14 points, and Brighton on 14 points. So lots to play for. And like I predicted at the start of the season, I think this is going to be a proper ding-dong title race, maybe between 3 or 4 clubs. Salah's the best winger the Premier League has ever seen, said these nuts. Lewis said, you still doing That's Football? No. Excuse me, mate. Sorry, I had a bit of a belch. No, not at the minute, mate. But again, I'll always say, never say never, and there's no issues there. Milner was awful today, said Stephen. Yeah, he wasn't as good as he was against Porto, but he was up against far better players, in fairness. And when he got that yellow card first half, you knew they were going to target him. And he was, let's be honest, he was a lucky boy to stay on the pitch today. Salah had a score and an assist. Yeah, he was fantastic. Fabinho should have hit it first time. I agree. And even at that, mate, when I watched it back and I seen the clip, he controlled it. And I'm going, hit it. 3 times I said to myself, hit it. And he didn't. And he could have tried to get some air on it. If he had even just lofted it. Because he probably could have told somebody was going to slide in. Even if he just gets his foot underneath it and scoops the ball up. That's where you wish that fell to a Bobby Firmino, Mohamed Salah, Sadio Mane, and not your defensive midfielder. And unfortunately, that's going to be the endearing memory for a lot of us of the game, that we could have nicked it with that great opportunity. Addison said, didn't think Curtis was as good today. No, he wasn't. He wasn't able to get involved in the game as much. But look, you're not going to come up against much better midfielders or midfields in the Premier League than Manchester City's midfield, in fairness. So it was a learning experience today for Curtis Jones. Still haven't seen as much as I would have liked to from Sadio Mane either. Still questions over his decision making, although he took the goal really, really well today, so he gets credit for that one. It's the start of the season. There's still so much time left. I know. Only 7 games in. It feels like so much longer. Bro, I'm feeling anger for Fabinho not to take a win. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm not feeling angry at Fabinho, because I refuse to be angry at Fabinho. He's too good to be angry at. But yeah, frustrated that we didn't put the chance away. Right, how do I end the poll, Connor?
There should be buttons that end poll.
Where is it? Right, let's see. Yeah, right, let's see what the vote comes up with then for man of the match. It should be fairly straightforward, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, man of the match vote. Salah got 83%, Other got 9, Alisson 3, Matip 3. Very straightforward. Your Anfield agenda man of the match, Mohamed Salah, ladies and gentlemen. Special Renaissance Regiment. I don't know what that means, but okay. Honestly, we should be taking the point on the chin. It's always tough game against City, said wannabe Shaq, and we'd have taken it at the start. I've got to be honest with you, mate. I probably would have. I have to agree. What about you, Connor? Start of the game, if I offered you a point, would you have taken it?
Probably would have.
Yeah, it's not... You don't like to admit it to yourself at times, but I probably would have taken a point. But when you go ahead twice like that, you do... It just... You feel deflated, don't you? When you're pegged back twice. Again, don't forget, in 4 minutes' time, myself, Kyle from Nothing But Reds, Paddy Murphy, we're going to be doing, I suppose, a panel to get our reactions to the game. Don't go anywhere, because I'm going to be back in a couple of minutes with that one. There is a link to the top of the live chat which will take you straight to the video. City should have put it to bed in the first half, said Fresh Kid. I understand where you're coming from, mate. I'll be the first one to admit that we were rather fortunate to go in there at half time still scoreless. It took some good defending, some very good saves from Alisson Becker to stop Manchester City from going in with a probably deserved half-time lead. But second half, I thought the game lived up to the billing that it was given, and I thought we seen what both sides are capable of, and we've seen some frailty defensively as well, unfortunately, which needs to be worked on. When you're scoring 2 goals at home against a team like Manchester City, you want to be winning the game. Someone said, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad we drew. People are saying we'll beat City or we're going to lose 3-1. Honestly, I expect a win. Yeah, look, at home, you want to win. I get you. Craig, still unbeaten, and today we're not at our best, but didn't lose either. Stay positive, fan, said Embro. I love that, mate. Well played. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leg it and go straight in to the video with Paddy Murphy and with Carl from Nothing But Reds. There's a link at the top of the chat right now that'll take you there. Before I head off, I just want to say a massive thank you to our sponsors again, OneFootball. You can download the OneFootball app entirely free from the link in the description. I'm going to leg it straight over. This is going to be entertaining. Don't go anywhere. Link at the top of the stream.